Before I start this video, I want to mention two things. One, this book review is going to be extremely biased. I'll get into that in a minute, but this book review is going to be extremely biased. And secondly, I do have noodles that I am currently eating while I'm making this video, so I apologize for that. Hi guys, so welcome back to Book It, and today, this video, we're going to be talking about a book that I'm going to be extremely biased about. I am going to go ahead and just say that right here, right now. I'm not trying to hide anything. Also, I have noodles that I'm eating, so if you see me like fidgeting with them, that's because they're really hot and I'm trying to like cool them down so I can actually eat them because I'm so hungry. Because I've spent all day videoing and editing because I'm just such like a creator. I'm such a YouTuber. Okay, sorry, I can't say this shit without laughing. No, today we're talking about Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. It's from from Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls, literally everything in between. So she says this is one of her 3 autobiographies, I think. So her first one was called she mentions it multiple times throughout the book. She's like, oh, this was like my first like autobiography. And then Someday Maybe was her autobiography. This is just like her kind of like talking about Gilmore Girls. Now, before we start, I do want to say I am obsessed with Gilmore Girls. Have been for years. My personality was built off of Lorelai and Rory Gilmore. Literally. I am sarcastic, fast talking, I am witty, and I also love to read. Point proven. I grew up watching them. My mom is a big fan. I have a tattoo dedicated to Gilmore Girls that says an omnia paratus, which I'm actually going to get redone. But so before, like, you're like, oh, like maybe she's going to shit talk Lauren Graham. That's not going to happen. I would never. Okay, bring back my personality. So it's an autobiography and it follows stories and inserts from Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life when they did their reboot. As a big fan of the show, I was extremely excited to read everything Gilmore. And I read this book literally so fast, I read it in a night. And by night, I mean 2.5 hours. Yeah, I just flew through it. So she gives Lauren Graham, that's her, she played Lorelai Gilmore, and then Alexis Bledel played Rory Gilmore. She starts by talking about, like, you know, her early life in New York City and LA and like the job she did. She makes a joke in the introduction that there's one show that whenever she thinks back of, and it was a play that she was in as like a joke. Obviously she was talking about Gilmore Girls, but she was recently in Parenthood, the show Parenthood. And she basically talks like through each season of Gilmore Girls and stuff like that, and she talks about how different their hair was and how different their clothes were, and like the times, because they're like listening to like CD players and they were like asking each other for like tape, like just a very different time because it was shot in the early 2000s. So that's the life that they, you know, were living at the time. There wasn't like the cell phones didn't come on until like I think season 4, season 5, which technically they always had cell phones. It was more just like Rory didn't use a cell phone till later on. She always used the house phone, because Luke Danes, or Scott, who played Luke Danes, he had a sign in his like diner at Luke's Diner that said no phones. And I definitely should have worn I have a Luke Steiner sweatshirt and I have a Luke Steiner mug. I definitely should have used it for this video. Food break, sorry. Okay, so she walks through how a lot of like her personal friends and family members were background characters in the show. Like I think her cousin or her niece was at graduation with Rory and Paris when they, or Alexis and Liz, and they like sat behind them Like she sat behind them, so that was cool. She also discusses how the first season they didn't think they were going to actually like get renewed for a second season because they had the time slot of 8 p.m. on a Thursday, which sounds like an amazing time slot. Like that's a great time slot. Like back in my day, kids, before there was Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Amazon, Tubi, Pluto, Peacock, all that other stuff, we had to watch normal TV, and there would be time slots, and you would open the TV guide and it would tell you what time everything's coming on. This sounds like I'm literally 80 years old. I'm literally 22. And you would look and it would say, Sweet Life of Zach Cody comes on at 7 p.m. Central Time. So then you'd have to be like, oh, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So what time is that in Central? So they'd have Central, Pacific, and Eastern Standard Time. And then there's Mountain Time, but no one ever goes by that one. But they'd always say it's like, this is at Central Time. And then if you lived on the East Coast or the Midwest-ish areas, they would say it's Central and Eastern Time. So you would know what time everything came on. But they got at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time slot, which sounds great. But it was the early 2000s, so they were competing directly against Friends that premiered at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which put a lot of pressure on the show because they were competing against the biggest show at the time. Like I said, back in our day, you couldn't watch both shows. And I think this was before you could record shows too. I don't remember recording TV shows until later on in like life. Like I think I was like 8 or 9. So 2008, 2009. That's when I started recording shows. Might have been before that, but that's the earliest I remember. So since they had such a positive correlation and they did have like a good, following, season 2 was changed to help them out. And then they ended up being on Tuesdays, I'm pretty sure, at 8 p.m. I think it was Tuesdays, which is really nice. So this was very sad. Fun fact, not really fun, sad fact. The cast actually signed on to do an 8th season because the 7th most Gilmore Girls fans know that seasons 1 through 6 had 2 creators. It was Amy and her husband. I cannot remember the last name to save my life. And then when Amy and Dan, and it's like Palladino, don't hold me to that. They were the first 6 seasons. And then the 7th season, the Gilmore Girls was sold to a different TV network. So Amy and Dan did not go on for season 7. But for season 8, they were able to get Amy and Dan to sign on for season 8 along with the rest of the cast. Unfortunately, the show was canceled, and the only people who were told, other than Amy and Dan, were Alexis and Lauren. So all the other cast members had to find out in like non-conventional ways. And they said that Ed found out, who played the grandfather, or Lorelai's dad, Richard Gilmore, found out from a movie store in Texas when he was going to get a movie. Somebody told him. I'm sorry, what? I thought they were supposed to hey, show's canceled, but okay. And then she fast forwards to talking about A Year in the Life, which is the reboot that they did with Netflix. And she talks about how different it was because there was only 4 episodes, but each episode was like an hour or an hour and a half long. I don't remember how long it is. I haven't watched A Year in the Life in so long because as a diehard Gilmore fan, I was very excited that everything was back. The wacky adventures, amazing, beautiful. Just the ending started to piss me off, which we will get into. I could really talk about Gilmore Girls for hours, but I'm trying to keep the video not 80 minutes long. So she talks about being back on set and that the characters she played through her career, but stepping back into Lorelai Gilmore was something that she was so excited to do. She talks about there were so many times that she would just cry and break down because it was so emotional for her. It was so exciting. And then she goes on to say it was so great seeing everybody because she got to see all her old co-stars and all the guests and just basically everyone that kind of built her her career. She saw them all again. And then of course she released secrets here and there about Gilmore Girls, stuff everyone knows. Alexis Bledel hates coffee, but the two of them always drank coffee, so Alexis would always drink Coke. Or her cup would even be empty. They talk about like when they were on the set of A Year in Their Life. Unfortunately, Ed did pass away. And they had a whole tribute to Richard Gilmore, and that really upset her. And then Kelly, who plays Emily Gilmore, which is Richard's wife, she like had this whole thing where the lights would like go out randomly, and she said that was like Ed giving them a sign that he was there, and it was really like, it was really heartbreaking. And very, very sad. Very, very sad chapter. But it was all like, I don't know. I really enjoyed this book. I thought that it was, I know that Lauren Graham wrote it, but it was told like, and it was very fast paced, just like Lorelai Gilmore. My favorite quote in this book is, I lost the most weight, because she has a whole chapter on weight loss, and there's a secret diagram in here to show you the secrets of Hollywood on like how to like lose weight. She says, I lost the most weight once right after a breakup, and then again while rehearsing for a Broadway show. Try to arrange these things to happen at the same time and you'll be looking your best. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. I just did. Yeah, she has a whole thing in there that like there was very, back in the early 2000s, they had a very diverse cast, and the trend was very, very thin with very low jeans. That is not the trend today. But she talks about it, and she has like a little secret to like how to look your best in Hollywood, and it's really cool. So overall, like I said, very biased, 5 out of 5. I think this book was very fast-paced. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, you will absolutely love this book. Even if you're not, and you just like, you know, learning history and stuff like behind the shows, this is a really good book to read for that. I've ordered her other 2 books. They haven't came in yet, but I definitely will be reading those as well. I know they're not based around Gilmore Girls, so they probably won't be as biased as this one. But like I said at the very beginning, this is a very biased one. So yes, Lauren Graham, mwah, love you so much. And that is it for that. So everyone make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, comment down below something. Like I said in my other videos, this channel is growing pretty quickly. I'm very happy with it. I just love the support that everyone's giving me. So thank you so much. And yeah, that's it for now. Remember, I do have my social media link below, and I have my Goodreads, because right when I record a video, I post my Goodreads. So if you ever want like a sneak preview of like what videos are coming up, you literally can follow my Goodreads, or like friend me on Goodreads. I think you friend somebody. I think it's friends. Maybe. Okay, well, you can always look at my, yeah, you can friend somebody on Goodreads. Okay, yeah. And then it'll pop up in your like little community tab, or it'll pop up in your notifications if you turn the notifications on. And then you can literally see what books are coming up, and then what books I'm currently reading. So my currently reading books are kind of confusing. So for those who don't understand Goodreads, I have 4 categories. I have want to read, currently reading, read, and then 5 out of 5. So my 5 out of 5 shelf is literally all the books that I rate 5 stars. I also have them in a playlist on my YouTube channel. My read are the books I've obviously read, and then my currently reading are books that I'm either A, currently reading, or B, I have read, but I haven't filmed a video yet. Because once I film a video, even before I edit it, it goes into my read pile, so I can just like help mark it down. So yeah, if you want a little sneak preview behind what videos are coming, or like what books I'm reading to see what videos might be coming soon, or even the want to read, because the want to read books are books that I have in my current possession, not books that I ordered. Well, actually no, that's a lie, because my Lauren Graham books are in there. But most of the books in my want to read books are ones that I have, I just haven't read yet. So that's a little sneak preview. If not, just of course just follow, you know, this. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that little bell so you get notified when I post, because I've been posting a lot of shorts lately since I'm traveling a lot. I mean, sorry, currently I'm home, but I think it'd be cool to film a couple books in like different areas. I just have to get all my stuff out there and have a book out there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, from me and my noodles, bye.